you can use like a tiny little ooh sound, or a burble, or like a V. Anything that is closed in the front that feels comforting. Just do like a little vocal siren starting high and coming down.
Okay.
Great. And again. Okay, great. I like the onset. That was really nice. That was super clean. So now, do it again. And since we're using our tiny ooh, go for like a really kind of open feeling in the back. Ooh. That's what I'm talking about. Really good. Okay, great. So now you're going to do a major scale coming down. We'll do on that tiny ooh. And you're going to sing a cappella because there's a little delay in Zoom.
Sure.
Oh, I liked that one. I like that one. Oh, that was lovely. Nice work, lady. Nice work, lady. Okay, now let's on an E vowel. Say for me, please. E.
E.
That's right. And we're gonna get round the lips a little bit. E.
E.
Very, very slidey.
Okay.
How did you like that one?
Not as much.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah,
Let's do it again.
it was a little shaky.
So, well, so this is what I noticed. On the onset, there was a lot of air in the tone. And so I'm wondering if what do you know from your training? Like, how do you perceive your own support?
That time I wasn't
Yeah.
really engaging with the support before my onset, but normally I take a breath and sort of set my ribs a bit wider and then pull in my lower abs and allow
Abdominals, yeah.
the ribs to relax as I go through the phrase.
That's like just about perfect. Okay, beautiful. Um, I'm curious what happens if we turn on just the tiniest bit more strength just on the onset. Like, I'm not suggesting that we go on lockdown and not deflate, But I think that I'm curious if your body can be a little more like primed
Mm.
to catch the impulse of the sound. So let's try this. Let's play a little game. So we're going to do a really strong hiss, and it's going to be, we're going to overdo it. Right. And I would imagine that that turns on the strength in your body in a
Yeah.
familiar way. Okay, great. So now do it again. Keep the strength turned on in your body, but reduce the amount of air pushing through the S to a teeny tiny little thread.
Okay.
Brava. Okay, now do it again, and you tell me, when does the strength turn on in your body?
It's, I mean, at the top of the inhale and
So
into
before you
the,
even make sound.
mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. So that's going to be your process. You're going to inhale, you're going to feel the resistance turn on before you even start your sound. Oh my good. How does that feel?
Better.
That was lovely.
Yeah. Freer.
Yes, totally freer. Also more rich and like a much more complex vowel shape too.
Mm.
Let's do that again. And as you slide up, just imagine that you are going from that more like aggressive S, but instead we're going to do that really refined thin S. In other words, it's going to require less air to get up to that top note.
Okay.
There you go. Beautiful. Okay, really good work. Okay, so you identify as a mezzo-soprano, is that true?
Correct.
So you identify your passaggio beginning around D flat,
Yeah.
more or
Something
less?
around there. It's been a
Something.
while, but that
Okay.
feels right.
Okay. So there's a thought that a little bit below
Mm-hmm.
the passaggio that we actually have like an acoustic event or a spot in the voice where depending on the style that we're singing, if we find a little bit more depth of vowel and a little bit more like anchoring down on the way up, hopefully you'll feel a release of your sound
Mm-hmm.
like higher in the head somehow. Okay? So we're going to start where we just ended and we're going to go back up, and this time I might stop and start us and polish something.
Okay.
Okay. so how does that one feel on the top note to you?
That one felt okay. It felt
Okay,
similar to the ones before it so far.
let's do it again. Let's do it again. And just, I want to see what happens. Let's just make our vowel shape a little bit deeper and more Swedish,
Okay,
just on the top note.
just on the top note.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
What? That was beautiful.
That's like magic.
I know. So that will if we are right, and you're a mezzo-soprano, what just happened should remain basically true for 1, 2, 3 more sets. Okay. So
Okay.
let's do that one again, and then we'll go up 3 more keys. Okay.
Great.
Did you feel it settle in after a second? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Nicely done. Okay, really good. So what I'm noticing is that like you get to your target note and there's like a second of like shopping and then you drop in. So my teacher and her teacher in their offering, this is called the laryngeal pivot. Right, so it's a little rocking of the larynx forward and down. We're not forcing anything. We're just finding a little bit more depth to the vowel in the middle voice below your passaggio. Okay, that was fabulous. Let's do a triad now. And let's try Z, ah. So that already went pretty well. That already went pretty well. I hesitate to even get involved.
Okay.
But do it one more time, and the top note is an A flat, which is like your sort of pivot note for asking for a deeper vowel. So for the ah vowel, just think like a little bit rounder, maybe, and like a little bit of in your vowel, just a little bit.
Okay.
Touch. Oh, on the way down, that was like magic. That was really beautiful, really on the breath, just really lovely. Whatever that was, circle it and hit save.
Okay.
Okay. Now correct me if I'm wrong, that one did not feel quite as comfortable.
No, it did not.
So on the way up, the third is now your A flat. So go for a little bit more Swedish depth on the third, and then the 5 will probably take care of itself.
Okay.
Totally fine. Totally fine. Try again. Try again. Brava. What did you fix?
Um, well, around there is where I'm coming from, like a mix to a head voice. And so I started in a more head place,
Okay.
at least thinking in a more head place. So I took the pressure off a little bit in the
Great.
third.
Great. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Okay, now we're going to switch.
Okay.
So this is my guess. Ah is like just the hardest vowel ever for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I'll take those.
Any day.
Uh,
Any
eh?
day.
Sure.
Sure. Okay. I think what I'm hearing is a tiny bit of tongue involvement
Mm.
in the ah. And this is something like if you take some of these concepts that we're playing with the laryngeal pivot and you run with them on your own, just know that one thing to watch out for is not overproducing the depth and getting like
Mm.
swallowed with it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of my favorite ways to address that. Ga 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 ga.
Okay. Go, 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 go. Go, go. Go, go, go. Yeah.
Oh, so my love.
Right
So
on the.
it's on the A flat.
Mm-hmm.
So think a little bit more rather than ah.
Okay.
Uh.
Go, 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 go.
Does that feel better on the top?
Yeah.
Do it again.
Go, 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 go. Go. Go, 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 go.
Yeah, we don't like that G, do we? I would do this every day. So repeat after
Yeah.
me. Repeat after me. Go.
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 Go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, go. Go, 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 go.
Do you know how I know it's working well? Because
How?
you're shorting out the mic.
Oh.
It's a really good sign. It means that the frequencies, the overtones that you're producing are enough to overload the system slightly.
Ah. Okay.
Last one going up.
Go, 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 go.
You got it.
That is feeling better.
That's great. Okay, so now we're going to come back down. We're going to do it again. And now you're going to sustain the 5 on a little fermata before you come down. Go, 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 go.
Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Think, yeah, that's the A flat again. Think the French unaccented schwa.
Okay.
Mon cœur.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
know. I think so. This is my thought. This is my guess. Is that
Mm-hmm.
the tongue root is just like slightly participating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's very kind of you to say slightly.
So I think that's why that first G feels like such a stretch because your
Uh-huh.
tongue root is forced to release to get the G up there.
Yeah.
And also this is the C, which means the next note up is the entrance to your passaggio, so it probably feels like you're on some kind of line.
Yeah.
Do it again. You got this. I know you can do this.
All right. Hmm. Go 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 go.
Again.
Go 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 go. Zo. Zo.
Yep, so let's do it again. As you go
Yeah.
up from the 5 to the 8, um, just for now, shift your vowel towards a more like, almost like book or
Okay.
could.
Zo. Zo. Mm. Zo.
Did that feel better? That was really good. Okay.
Zo.
That was great.
Zo. Mm. Zo.
And I love that because you like the top note better than the 5. You know what I mean? Let's do
Yeah.
it again. The 5 is now on an A, which means you're just coming into that primary acoustic release.
Mm-hmm.
So think a little more on the 5, and then let the top. Let's just see what happens on the top. Good. So you made it, but I felt like there was some fancy footwork that you did on the approach.
Yeah.
So now the A flat is now the 3rd.
Right.
So that's where I would start to shape your vowel in this more affected way. Just for now. Just for now.
Sure.
Oh yes, honey. Oh yes. I love it. I hardly want to touch it because it's going well, but I'm
Uh-huh.
curious. I noticed that when you as you go up the arpeggio, that your upper lip actually pulls down a little bit,
Hmm.
and I'm really curious what happens if you keep the diva face
Uh-huh.
And a little bit more like, I'm so happy about sucking on a lemon.
Okay. All right. So
Absolutely. Now, take the take the aggressive S and just make a finer thread. Okay, but the space and the spin and the way it opened up on top was fabulous.
Mm,
But we invited a little bit more breath pressure that you probably don't even need. Let's do it again.
okay. Yeah, and I think it's affecting the descent, like top note to, yeah, something is
Right.
that one.
Fabulous. That's an F sharp on top.
Okay.
So now I say, so let's take a look at the song. Let's see what happens.
Il est fondé bien, ma chérie. Les larmes qu'on ne pleure pas dans notre âme retombent en toutes. Et de leur bâtiment de garde, mordillement le cœur triste et las. Sans résistance, enfin s'épuiser, le cœur se creuse et s'affaiblit. Il est trop grand, rien à l'enlever. Et trop fragile tout le brise. Tout le brise.
Very good work, especially considering you probably haven't done this in like, I don't know how long.
It's been a while. I did run through it a couple times this weekend, but
Okay, so there was one time that you went up, I think it was to the F, but it was on an E vowel.
hmm
Now tell me that one didn't feel the best of all the times you were up there. Totally.
yeah.
So, I mean, you probably don't have a chopstick handy because I didn't tell you to have one, but do you have like a pencil?
I do have a chopstick.
The point is not to suspend it with your tongue. The hands are doing the work of holding it up. Because of the shape of my mouth, I have to actually push the skin of my mouth back a little bit.
You put
Uh-huh.
your tongue over the chopstick.
And then I tuck the tip behind the bottom teeth.
Uh-huh.
So then you're going to slide up to your E, and you've got your little window, right, where you can see yourself in your, okay, so just watch your tongue as you slide up to that E. Yep, yep, yep. Did you see it? Did you see it when it like pulled back? Right, yeah, yeah, okay, don't do that. No, I know, that's terrible teaching, but like, over time, I would do this kind of exercise and
Mm-hmm.
retrain your tongue to actually widen.
All right.
Honey,
Yeah,
tell me that doesn't feel better.
it feels better.
Okay, now try, do it again and just really feel into whatever physical difference you're making or thought, like wide tongue, whatever. And then immediately, without me getting involved, you're going to remove the chopstick and you're going to sing va. And you're going to find that same action, okay?
Okay, so do it with the chopstick and then do it without.
Yeah, and slide up when you've got the chopstick there.
Okay. Oh.
Brava.
Oh.
Brava. Really good work. Really good work. So my hope is that there's like some kind of familiar sensation that that slightly tongue root engaged feeling has. And so whenever you're working repertoire, or vocalises, whatever, when you're working and you are able to notice it, do your chopstick thing, and then retrain, you know, your
Yeah,
target feeling. Yeah.
yeah.
Great work, Jim.